Now here's another little thing. If you guys want to inspire your group, and seriously inspire them, because there is a little trick to inspiring your group. Everybody says, well, is it the incredible motivation talks that you get and stuff like that? Sure, that can be inspiring, but if what you're saying is not matching what's going on, then you're not very inspiring. All the way to the way your waistline looks, all the way to the way your face looks, to what's happening around your life. Why was Mark Hughes inspiring? Because, one, my pitch. But pretty soon, everything that I was pitching, I started doing. When I first got Herbalife started, all I had was a white jacket and a nice little pair of black pants and a red tie. And I felt it was so cool, that white jacket, those black little pants and that red tie. Oh, plus I had, in my little office, I had white carpeting. I don't know why I thought white carpeting was cool, because about 3 weeks into the program, everybody had stepped on it so much, the office really looked ugly, okay? But I had this beautiful, and by the way, I got for the very first time, about 6 months ago, after 16 years, I bought a white jacket again with some black pants. But I'll tell you one thing I didn't get was a red tie, because I don't want to ever remember what that outfit was like again. And I kept wearing that outfit and wearing that outfit, and I finally got, and I was pitching, and I finally got myself a black velvet coat. I'll never forget getting that black velvet coat, and everybody in Herbalife all of a sudden had a black velvet coat. It was amazing. Doug was getting one, Dennis was getting one, and everybody's getting a black velvet coat all of a sudden, just because I had changed my clothes. And I never forget, I drove up in my brand new Eldorado, and all of a sudden everybody wanted brand new Cadillacs. See, I didn't just tell my group to go, go, go. I kept going myself. I always outproduced them at the meetings. I always brought more people to the meetings than they did. I always outsold more retail than they did. I was outdoing them in everything. Why? Because through example is how you're inspiring. If you want to just go out there and pitch, go ahead. But if you pitch and you start making things reality, you'll become inspiring. That is inspiring. What has inspired so many people around me? Mark Hughes keeps going. Then it was my very first condo. No, none of my guys had ever seen a beautiful condo. I had that little rinky-dink condo on the beach and stuff like that. But to me, it was like a giant mansion. That thing was big enough. I mean, we could fit that in my wife's bathroom today, okay? But to me, it was like the biggest mansion that had ever been around, okay? And pretty soon I had my first little condo, and I was very good at finagling everything, trust me. I mean, I was a master at making myself look better than I really was for very little money. And when I got that first condo, pretty soon my people started getting condos. And when I got my first house, my people started getting some of their first houses. When I got my very first Rolls Royce, some of my people started getting fancy cars. When I got my first mansion, some of my people now have got mansions. Okay? So if you want to be inspiring, keep working on yourself and keep improving yourself. You heard it all said by every single person that was up here, okay? That you don't just tell your group, go. So it starts all the way down at the bottom. Alan was brilliant at talking to you about promotion. If you want to promote anything, guess what you do first? You don't just promote it. First you qualify for the promotion yourself, and then you promote it. Because if you do it yourself, it's going to be more attractive to your people. So, you want lots of people to go on vacation. If you guys want to be on vacation, first get on vacation. You want lots of people to be on vacation? Qualify for vacation. And then show them the vacation. And pretty soon, a lot of your people will be on vacation. And pretty soon, all of those people will show their people about vacation. And pretty soon, that's how your check gets going bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you want things to get better, keep improving yourself. And that means for all you guys. That means for all of you guys. You want to get bigger? You got to become bigger yourself. So you don't just go group go, go group go. You keep going yourself, and let me tell you, it will go. How do you keep inspired? I can't remember who said it in the meeting and stuff like that. It was Alan Lorenz, okay? He says, the way I keep inspired is from the new stories. New stories meaning he's getting new retail. Stories meaning he's getting new distributors. Stories meaning he's getting new supervisors. When that's happening to him, he keeps inspired. But if you just keep trying to squeeze your organization into $1 million without keeping inspired yourself by the own amount of retail you do, the own amount of recruiting you do, the own amount of supervisors you're breaking, then you're trying to squeeze your organization into $1 million by telling them, you guys do it, I don't got to do it. Can you make a little bit of money that way? Yes. Can you even make a lot of money that way? Yes. It's even worse when you're making a lot of money that way, and then all of a sudden you go on no-go mode. And you just tell your group, go, you got to go, you got to go. And in the beginning, you went yourself. And then pretty soon all you're doing to your group is saying, go, 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 and that makes you more money. Go, 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 and that makes you more money. And pretty soon for the next couple of years, that's all you're doing is saying, go, 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 go. And pretty soon you start getting dissatisfied. And pretty soon you start saying, I wonder why my check's not going up, and I wonder why it's not growing, because you can only get so much out of your group. Your group at some point is going to kind of get to where they want to be. And go, 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 you can't squeeze any more out of it. So if you want to get some more out of it, you got to become more yourself. And that means constant retailing, constant recruiting, constant breaking supervisors. Because here's another thing you got to do every year. Write this in your notes. Replenish that you lose. You are going to lose a certain amount of people each year. You are. No matter how successful you are, no matter how big your check's getting, no matter how big it's getting, every year you start over at the beginning, and you've got to replenish a certain amount of people that you lost to stay even. And then if you want it to get bigger, you've got to do more than that the following year just to make it become more. So don't get into a mode here of only go, go, go to your group. What you do is go, go, go on yourself. And let me tell you something, you'll have a business. I can't wait till I can get someone up on the stage and they're the first person in Herbalife that says, I've got a business that does $1 billion a year. Can't wait. I can't wait. Someone's going to be able to say that deal. Someone's going to say, Mark Hughes is pitching the $1 billion. Now I'm pitching the $5 billion. There is going to be a distributor up here someday that says, my organization did $1 billion last year. Unbelievable. There's some people thinking about it. There are a couple of people around here that do think about that. In order for Herbalife to become what it needs to become, and in order for it to be the kind of business we all want it to become, we have to all be in business together. You can build your businesses a couple of ways. And you can make money some different ways in Herbalife, but at some point, building it wrong is going to catch up with you. And the only thing that's going to happen is that because of the way that Herbalife is, and because there's more good than there ever is the bad, there's only one thing that ends up happening. It catches up to you and it forces you out the door. It's the only thing that can possibly happen. And so what I mean by that is I know some of you are from some other countries, and then you're in some countries that are in a pretty fast go mode right at the moment. And sometimes you need to start thinking a little bit differently. And here's the way I'd like you to think. Every time you're making a decision, every time you're going to do something in your business, I'd like you to think, is this what Mark Hughes would be doing? Is that what Mark would do? Is that what he would do? There's some things that happen, like for instance in France, okay, that goes outside the business that help mess up the business in France. France was on a major go, go, go mode. And guess what a lot of the guys over there were doing? They figured out that it would be a lot faster to get their organizations to the 246, that if everybody just sold the downline product at 50%. All of it. No retail, no wholesale, no nothing. Everybody gets it at 50% off on the first, second, third level, all the way from the time you get the guy in to the people they get in, to the people they get in. Everybody's getting it at 50% because they figured we do all this incredible stuff for Herbalife twice as fast. And guess what happened? Right down the tubes. Because guess what happened to some of the new people as this major roller coaster was going on? Some people didn't make any royalties fast enough. Some people didn't make any wholesale fast enough. And by thinking that they were doing something incredible for their organizations, all of a sudden they had some people that weren't making the royalties fast enough, that weren't making the wholesale fast enough, and all of that stuff crashed and burned for them because they got outside of doing what the normal is. They started taking it into the newspapers and selling it for 50% off. Guess what that did to France? It started messing up the entire, not only organization for them, but it messed up the organization for all of you. And we're in business together. When you do something, you don't just do it to yourself. You do it to yourself and the person sitting next to you. And you not only do it to yourself and the person sitting next to you, but you do it to your uplines and you do it to your downlines. And by golly, you need to not steal from anybody. Your downlines, your uplines, or anybody else in the room. See, that's something you need to know about Herbalife. Because you know what? There's a lot of other companies out there that they'd say, you know what? So what, it hurt a few people. Look at all the business we're getting in. I don't care if it's the loneliest little housewife that got into the company to the top president's team member in this organization. And we have gotten rid of some of the top people in our company in the past. And it don't make no difference. Principles are principles. And this company is going to sparkle, and it's going to shine, and we're going to be respectable, and we're going to do it the Herbalife way. And so when you think about these things, I want you to think about, would Mark Hughes be making this decision? Because let me tell you something, the decisions you're going to make are not only going to be the Mark Hughes consequences, number one, but number two, doing it the Mark Hughes way for year after year after year after year. And that's what you want, gang. It may be a little more difficult in the beginning. It may take you a little longer to get to where you want to go. But let me tell you something. In the end, you will win. You will win. Just as important, we will win. And that's got to do with all the integrity of the company. That means out-of-line buying, okay? Where someone comes to you and they want to buy it from you because it's a little bit easier. There's a lot of tendency sometimes to want to go ahead and sell it to the person, okay? Maybe their supervisor dropped out and stuff like that, and they come to you and they're begging you, geez, I'd like to buy some of your inventory. Remember, when you're selling it to that person, guess who you're stealing money from? Their first upline, their second upline, and their third line, and everybody upline that's in the 2, 4, 6 check. Stealing is what it's called. Stealing. I want you to think about that. And we're not going to allow for stealing. Not going to allow it. See, these rules and regulations that we've got in our company, in our plan, are to protect every single person in this room, no matter who you are. To the lowest little housewife in the company, to the auto mechanic that just gets started, that's got grease stains all over his cans, to the top person in the company with his Brooks Brothers suit. We don't care. Ethics are ethics. And we got to not only protect us, okay, but you got to protect everybody in the room, because as a unit, we can become 5 billion. As a unit, we can get to 10 billion. As a unit, we can get to 15 billion. And we'll be the kind of companies that we want our children to respect and their children to respect. So when you move and become a leader in the company, you got to move as a leader with integrity in all parts of the plan, even if it's a little bit slower, because the integrity of what we're doing in Herbalife has not only paid off now, but what it's going to pay off for us in the years to become is going to be nothing short of mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Trust me, they've been going on for 16 years, and this industry is only becoming more popular every single year. See, the multi-level industry is just becoming a way of doing business. In the future, it's going to become the way of doing business, not only here, but around the globe. It's going to be amazing as we affect the globe. Do you realize that Herbalife's only in just a very small section of the globe at this moment? We're only in a population right now of about 1,400,000,000 people. There's still almost 4 billion people that we're not even involved with yet in other countries. And when we get to those 4 billion and these other companies crash and burn, guess who's going to be standing there as the company that's got the integrity, the company that's got honesty, the company that our children want to be involved with? Guess who's going to cash in on it? Us.